It's a holiday. I try to stay.
I use the cards for scrapping. I rip them into fours and write on the back. I don't waste them.
Yeah.
I don't,
It's gonna be here. Regurgitation.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Hammerhead.
Tina, we're all set to go. If you want to call order. Oh, so this is to add?
Yeah.
Any other?
Right now.
Shoot, I forgot about that. Okay.
Well, you don't have to stay.
Okay, we're going to call the next meeting to order. Yeah, some really good ideas coming out of this. You learn a lot at meetings. Okay, so I am going to call to order the Town of Griswold regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen, Tuesday, July 9th, at 6:45 PM. And the call to order, Tina Falk, Selectman, Martin McKinney, Selectman, and Rich Grabowski, Selectman. Item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag.
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we move on to item number 3, approval of meeting minutes. We have June 25th regular meeting, June 26th emergency meeting minutes, June 26th PM emergency meeting minutes, June 27th special meeting minutes, and June 28th special meeting minutes.
I make a motion we approve, A through E as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, move on to number 4, correspondence.
There are none.
Okay. Move on to number 5, old business. Discussion and possible action on security measures for tax collector and assessor's office.
I got some pricing for that. I'll pass it down. Just for the record, I'll read it to everybody. Basically, the quote was to, put, 3/8 inch tempered glass with aluminum framing around the assessor's office. That price was $6,500. If, they wanted to add to 3/8 tempered level 2 bulletproof resistant glass, that would be a $25,000 increase. So, I don't know if you want to, the original thought was to get ideas on the pricing. I'm sure we can go at other prices if you decide you want to go forward with it, but, I think this is the ballpark for what you guys want.
Give us an idea.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
I
all.
think,
Like I said, I didn't get multiple prices. I just got one price from one guy.
Can I ask, it runs from
It's
the tax
basically-
collector down to the assessor?
It's gonna be like, it's gonna be like a U. It's gonna go down that side, down the whole front. Then they're gonna raise the cabinet up to make that plan area level or close to being level. Then it's gonna continue all the way to the other side and then do that other L, that other U piece.
yeah.
And
The whole
there's gonna be 2 windows.
Yeah.
There's gonna be 2 windows for the handing stuff in and out, and then one, like a wide
Maps.
window for the maps.
All right, so where do you want to go with this?
I would the Board of Finance, I don't know who decides to do it or not, and that's what I don't know.
Do we need to go out to bid?
Well, if you wanna do it, I guess.
I think we have to over a certain dollar value.
Well, I didn't know
Go out
if
to
it's
bid.
definitely a job you wanted to
It's
do
under
or not.
that dollar amount.
It is,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get other quotes, but you don't have to go out to a formal bid.
okay.
Okay. I say we can, I would suggest that we can
Think-
make a motion that we can bring it before the Board of Finance for opinion.
Or, approval to expend the money, right? That's what you wanna do.
Forward the information to the Board of Finance to see how they feel about funding it.
I
one way or
second
the
that.
other way.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to forward the United Glass and Mirror quote. Forward it to the Board of Finance for review and approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to 5B, discussion and possible action on securing possible media platform.
I was tasked with that. I have not gotten any, with the holidays, I haven't got any responses, except for the one I gave you 2 weeks ago at the last.
Okay,
And I don't know if it was the holidays or just people haven't got back as quickly as I want.
I'll make a motion that we table 5B to the next regular scheduled meeting.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second to table item number 5B. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5C, discussion and possible action on status of Main Street decorative lighting.
I got all the pricing on that, but I have not had the opportunity to sit down with Paul Ash and go over some of the stuff. He just informed me today, he found the old original book with all the things, so we're just gonna grab, we're gonna have a meeting this week, coffee or something, and kind of go over everything. So hopefully we'll have some information to you by the next meeting.
Make a motion to table 5C to our next regular scheduled meeting.
Okay, I will second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, item 5D, discussion and possible action on forming of a committee to study local forms of government. And Rich, I'm gonna let you talk about this.
Okay, we got 8 names submitted to us and, you felt that you wanted me to, go through the names and try to come up with a list. I pared it down to 5, actually, I think that's, a workable number. And to begin, at least to begin with, and hopefully we can, try to get as much of a cross-section of the community as possible to get involved with this. I have 5 names, people I think that'll be very good and be open-minded as far as discussing this item and moving forward. But the plan would be to formulate some ideas and go through a series of public hearings and then go on from there. So the names that I came up with for your approval is myself, Rich Grabowski, Martin McKinney, Stuart Norman, Jim Barney, and Jamie O'Neill.
Okay. So are you looking for approval on that?
Yes,
I make a motion to approve the names outlined, as you outlined.
Okay, I will second. We have a motion made and a second on approving the names from Rich Grabowski on forming the committee to study local forms of government.
I'll contact the individuals and through the selectman's office and we'll set up an initial meeting and go from there.
So we have a motion and a second to accept the list. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 6. Under new business, A, discussion and possible action on 3 tax refunds for a total of $269.71 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 3 tax refunds totaling $269.71 as presented by the tax collector.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6B, discussion and possible action on update on social media issues.
I have none.
No, I have nothing that's worth talking about. So we will move on to item 6C. Discussion and possible action on resident request for information on his road. This was a question, and Todd, this is probably gonna end up going to you, Todd Babbitt. This was a gentleman who had been in touch with me, and I think it's going to probably spark a conversation. And Todd, I think that you need to maybe talk a little bit about private roads. and the town's responsibility with private roads. This particular road in question was in fact Sunset View. But I know that there was a lot that I didn't realize with private roads and the town, and I don't know if you can explain a little bit.
Yeah, there's different forms of private roads that we encounter. We have some very old versions which we refer to as paper roads. Paper roads they were delineated, they were named, but never developed. In some cases, they go through people's backyards in, real high density areas. They were never used for anything, but they still exist because the original division of the property included them. Those are your real old subdivisions. You have private roads that are under association, which we have a few of those in town, where there's an association that sometimes pays dues, sometimes doesn't, but that group owns the private roads that are in their area. Typically, you will see one main town road and a private road off of the town. This particular road was created by a developer many years ago. I'm going to say 25, maybe even a little more years ago. There were 6 houses constructed. There was a town road on the lower end and a state road on the upper end. So it's a connector between a state road and a town road. I'm going to say it's probably about 3/4 of a mile long without doing some more research on it. And many years ago, we dealt with it with a company that we used for the road studies called VHB. VHB did our original road studies many, many years ago when the Board of Finance first required the town to do a road study to see where our money was going to be spent on roads. VHB was contracted to go out to this road and do some borings, test base, sub-base, pavement, and also inspect catch basins and drainage. All the above failed town standards. The developer unfortunately posted a reduced bond to the Board of Planning and Zoning Commission, which was a discussion that was had at their meeting. And there was an enforcement person that felt that there was no need to post a high bond. This person wasn't going to go anywhere. And lo and behold, they finished building the houses, person left town. These people are stuck on a private road that is still owned by that individual that built the houses, that resides out of state. I am trying to get the original report from the inspection that was done from VHB, but I can tell you, just driving it, you can see the asphalt's only about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch thick.
Mm.
The catch basins, the bond that was posted was only $5,000. And the town has had 2 catch basins replaced by a contractor with that bond money that failed. So, I don't think their inspection report was much out of what's actually going on out there. So for the town to assume that, we'd have to go in and make that up to town standards. You'd have to reconstruct that road. You'd have to go down probably 3 feet, remove all the gravel that didn't meet the specs, rebuild it, redo all the drainage, redo all the catch basins. We're having a hard enough time keeping up with the roads we already have accepted. And I think if we try to open that window, you're gonna be spending more time on private roads and association roads than you are the regular town roads we're dealing with now. I understand, their concerns. And I don't know, what they can really do. I know they've, from what I hear, have chipped in to have somebody plow it in the winter so they can get in and out.
So the town doesn't plow
No,
it? Okay,
no, we do no maintenance on private roads.
okay,
None whatsoever. The only time we would do anything, and we have in an emergency situation, and we bill the according party, is if the fire department cannot get access to a road. And we did that once on Country Mobile Estates, the private section down at the bottom of Trailer Park.
okay.
And once on Johnson Cove Road, where they had a major washout and emergency services weren't able to get through. They were notified, we did the work, and with the assistance of the fire marshal, we billed the appropriate parties and got paid. That's the only time we would step in as an emergency situation.
Okay.
So this poor gentleman's kind of out of luck, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anywhere I can go with it, because once we open that door, you're not gonna close it, and there's many private roads out there. You know,
Many.
Some people have one driveway, but it's still considered a private road in some cases.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Okay. Then I'll relay information to this gentleman. All right. Thank you. Item 6D, discussion and possible action on proposal for Uncas Health Mobile Health Team. Did you have a chance to look at this document? Miranda Mahoney from Pride sent this information to us. I did have an opportunity to sit in on the presentation. So this basically is Uncas Health coming in, on a weekly basis with their mobile health team. And they would, I'm not sure where they would be in town, but, they would be providing multiple services. When they used to have the, there was a van that came to town and that went away. So this is gonna pick up, she's going to use the opioid settlement funds to pay for this initiative. And it deals with harm reduction services. And it also, which I thought was excellent, is that there's going to be a comprehensive range of services that are beyond syringe services. They're going to include health screenings, testing, vaccinations, education, and more. So I think that this particular initiative has very, it has a lot to offer the town. So,
Is she looking for us to approve this?
yes,
Now, if this first year is being, the 25,000 is being covered by a grant, are we contractually obligated to continue this if,
no, I think it's going to
Or-
be year to year.
is it year to year?
Yep, I'll verify that though.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea, I just,
No, I think it's a very good program. So,
Based on that, I will make a motion to approve item 6D
I
as proposed.
second that motion.
okay, we have a motion and a second to approve, the proposal for Uncas Health Mobile Health Team. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6E, discussion and possible action on proposal and resolution for application to DECD for a $110,000 brownfields grant for the Petrillo property. And I believe this comes from the town planner. And actually, it's just looking for approval on the resolution, but apparently it has already been applied for and received. This is just paperwork that apparently was not, it didn't come through the chain the way that it should have. So it's just crossing all the Ts and dotting all the Is. So it's kind of like the board's blessing to say yes.
So I make a motion that, we approve this economic development, community development certificate of resolution of governing body. For housekeeping that needs to do to get caught up with paperwork.
I'll second it.
Here we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. And then number 7, any other business that may come before the board? And
I'll make a motion that we bring up for discussion and possible action, filling the vacancy on the Griswold Recreation Commission as submitted by the rec director, Ryan Orban. Put it on the agenda.
I second that motion.
and we have a motion and a second to add this item to the agenda. Okay, so this was passed on to us.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. they have a vacancy on the Parks and Rec Board. Ashley Grillo has stepped down. And, Mike Minarski is interested in filling the full board spot for an unexpired portion of a regular term, 7/27/22 to 7/26/24.
I make a motion that we accept Michael, Maskey's application for the unexpired regular term, 7/27/22 through 7/26/24.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any other business that may come before the board?
Have
Any
that.
other business? Okay, then we move on to item number 8, public forum. Dave View.
Debut 59 Leah. I'm glad to see that we're finally getting on track with the Trillo property. However, my understanding is that this is tied up in bankruptcy court. We're still not receiving any taxes on it. And it's just still costing the town money. And the guy is looking down the road to develop that property, but the town's gonna be stuck cleaning it up. That doesn't quite make sense to me.
I think that the bankruptcy that they filed for is in question right now.
According to the town clerk, tax collector today told me that the latest bankruptcy filing has been dismissed. The town attorney's got the information, he's going forward with the foreclosure.
So I take it he hasn't been keeping his taxes current, that's why it.
No,
Okay, so that's a little bit of good news.
We're moving.
Good
Oh,
Any other public forum? Rich?
Just wondering if there's been any follow-up on
Excuse me,
these
Rich.
cable guys with
Next
the
Rich,
lawn repairs.
Rich.
Rich Canova, you know,
Thank you, sorry.
with any follow-up with the contractors on lawn repairs and whatnot?
I did put a list together last week of all the contractors and the roads that they impacted. And I started writing those areas. There's probably 40, 50 roads.
Okay.
So, yeah, I started that and I talked with Tina. I think once I get the checklist done, I think we're gonna call each contractor in one by one, say, these are the roads you did, these are the issues I have. Gonna give you this long to
Yeah,
correct them.
Shannon's Lane, like the first 3 houses all the way up, the grass isn't even growing back in the dirt.
Yeah.
It's just, is a trench that got filled back in and it's.
Yep, so that's the way I think we're gonna handle it, is we're gonna make a complete list by the contractor that did all those roads, bring them in. I'm gonna give them a list, a detailed list, addresses, issues, and give them a certain window of time to correct those, which
I
I'm gonna
know
say
it's
is
not part of it, but down the road for me, they must have dug up the guy's cable, Ray, I don't know if you know Ray down in the bottom. So they must have dug his cable up at 3 houses up the street. They were in a new piece of cable and it's like down people's yards, it's stapled up in trees. I mean, and it goes to his house from there. It's, I mean, it's still like that. Nobody's following up on that stuff. I'm sure the contractor did it when they dug, right? But you would think they would get the breeze line, say we'll get breeze line up there to fix that. His cable literally is laying across driveways and yards and stapled up in trees to get to his house.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't been over there yet. I
Yeah.
started up a shoe drive in that area and I'm working my way down. But that's my plan, is to have Tina part of that. Give them 30 days to rectify the problems. If they don't, then we'll pull their bond and we'll hire somebody to fix the problems and we'll go on to the asphalt areas.
Yeah, and the road, you know what's gonna happen with them. The trench patches in the road, I mean, that's inevitable. One of them is already, you know, you drive over it now and you get the thump. They used to be nice and smooth. They're already moving, so.
Yeah, they probably didn't do any compaction, I'm guessing. I caught them after we talked in the last meeting. I caught them in Rickstown, piecing the asphalt pieces back in the cross trenches without.
I've seen it done in driveways in my neighborhood.
And they thought that was acceptable, and I called their supervisor right up, and the next day they went out and paid them.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, it shouldn't come to that, they should have quality people doing quality work.
Get what they paid for, I guess.
Yep.
Paul?
All that's one piece. Talking about private roads, I'll be my hand in my hand, and you know, everybody private roads. But I do have a question, because I've always been told that the street that's directly opposite of the VW, which is a dirt road, Like I said, the road was a private road, but the town is showing that. Because the road being grandfathered in. How true is that?
The only road that we have, which road are you referring to?
Right across from BMW.
Augustinowski Drive.
So that is considered an unimproved town road. It has been since I was here, I came here. 30 years, 31 years I've been here, it was on the unimproved town road, it was then.
It's a true town road.
Yeah, unimproved, that means it's dirt,
Yeah.
and we receive money from the state to maintain that road.
Really? I'm just curious.
It's a fascinating subject. It really is.
You guys did file once on the street as a result of a medical
Yes,
emergency.
we do. We do that. I mean,
Yeah, you did that.
if there's any emergency services needed, yeah, you're working. I mean, you probably know, some of these guys know from fire department. We tried with their pagers for June City and Greenwood, with the borough plow guys and the town plow guys, try to get in front of the truck from the firehouse to the call, make sure they can make it there, whether it's the ambulance or the fire department.
But you did.
And, we throw everything else aside to do that because we think that's a priority and it's, what we should be doing for the residents. So, and we force up the fire companies and tell them, sometimes we've had the ambulance, we follow a path to a call and they take a different road and get stuck and then we have to go back again.
But the ambulance crew like that.
We try our best.
Kind of like Red Barn Road, right?
And they appreciate it.
Kathy?
Kathy wants to get up street. So I saw some activity up on 164. Any updates you could share regarding the infrastructure?
164, the work officially started last week. It will continue to progress. We went out to bid for the water, and I think next week the bids are due. So we're going to be reviewing those to award that. But it's finally moving along. So we're happy to see that. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
And then when people actually, along with the same thing at the water tower, how's that, end of that going?
Still negotiating. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of components to that decision. And some of them we're not able to disclose yet, so. But we're working on it. While it's important, it's not as important as at least getting the sewer and the water going immediately, so, yeah.
Water tower to building starts.
Well, we'd like to have it before then, but yeah. Any other public forum? Yeah.
Lori Sorter, 67 Ashland Street. Could you just speak to the, to put on record, the necessity for the special meetings and the quorum issue that you guys
Sure.
find yourself in?
I know that there was a concern by one of the residents who was here at the previous meeting about the special meetings. We don't like them either. But the reality is we have a three-member board. If Rich comes into my office or Martin comes into my office or they go to each other, it's considered a meeting. And it's considered a quorum. So in order to, the one thing that we wanted to do was all three of us wanted to be on the same page all the time. There's a lot going on with the 164 project, the infrastructure, many other items. And I want them to be informed. So in order to sit down and inform them, I don't want them coming into a selectmen's meeting and, being blindsided by, gee, what's on the agenda, because we couldn't discuss it. That's why we're going forward with looking at a more advanced form of government. This isn't efficient. This doesn't work. So special meetings are all of those things that come up where decisions have to be made, and we can't wait until the next Board of Selectmen meeting.
A lot of the discussion is personnel or negotiating the contractors, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that, shouldn't be public knowledge until
Right.
it's ready to come forward.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with that. That's primarily most of the stuff that special meetings are for.
We lose our leverage for negotiation too, and it's a public thing. So you're trying to negotiate with people, if that becomes public, sometime it becomes an issue.
Mhm.
Thank
That,
you.
does that help?
Yeah, I just wanted to have something on record because.
Yeah.
You know, you hear that kind of frequently.
It's a necessity.
Yeah.
And we're not counting,
It's-
but there's
it's a
57
necessity.
so
Yeah. it's 57,
57 special.
so. Yeah, Kathy?
Kathy West, I think, Street. So kind of to follow on that, I mean, I've seen a lot of the special meetings and they are open public, so people are welcome, as long as they're not executive session. People are welcome to attend, they are posted, they're open.
Yes.
But along those lines, you mentioned the subcommittee earlier for governing,
Mhm.
looking into that. And you have Rich and Martin on that. Will that be considered a quorum
No,
since you have two select?
legal opinion was no, this, as a subcommittee, if we would discuss a selectmen's business at that meeting, yes. But if we're just discussing that particular issue, it's not a problem.
Okay.
That's the legal opinion we got.
Okay, thanks.
Rich Canova, Dino Lane. I thought I heard at one point in time that if any two of you got together and had a conversation without making decisions, that did not count as a forum or a meeting.
Well, you can, but you know that conversations always come to a conclusion. I mean, it's a risk. It's a risk because you know why? Then what happens? Well, they talked, but then it went a little bit further. I'm not taking, and then all of a sudden it becomes a social media thing and it becomes the chatter. So we want to do everything the legal way. Yeah.
You can talk. You can make decisions.
Right.
Well, I think the way that it was,
You choose not to.
You cannot discuss how you're going to address any kind of situation.
Yeah.
So you can say, yep, that's a pothole, it sure is, but you can't discuss
How to
how you can
fix
take
it.
care of it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Any kind of motion,
Yeah.
You can't-
That was what the FOI guy
Yeah.
explained to us.
Yeah. and that's hard to do. If you sit down with Martin McKinney and you start telling him something, he's gonna give you his 2 cents and opinion, right?
Right, pretty much.
One answer to that, duct tape.
No. Okay, any other public forum? Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
we have a motion and a second to adjourn at 7:13. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, and I just got word that there's going to be a controlled burning at Gears. So if you're going home and you see fire by Gears, it is a fire department training. So, okay, just so you know.
It should be done by now.
I don't know. Lou just sent me a text 33 minutes ago. Thank you, everybody.